Businesses and organizations that are either owned by or supportive of people of color and women in immigration.
You ready to start shortly, ladies?
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and get my shares on.
Is your one stop to find, shop, and support Black, minority, and women-owned businesses.
Let me go to the Kaylee K page.
To have your business listed,
Yeah, I'm about to.
or call 870-203-9951. www.jonesboroblackbusiness.com.
All right, give me about 30 seconds, ladies.
Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas minority advocacy council. It's now time for community conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issue. Expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLE by them, the voice of Arkansas minority advocacy council or our.
KLK 102.5 FM. Good morning to you on your Thursday. It's January 12th, 2023. This is Community Conversations. Kato Wonder is here in the studio with you today. I am joined by members of the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Okay.
They have their Founders Day coming up on the 15th, but since the 15th falls on a weekend and another organization's Founders Day is tomorrow, then we are having these lovely ladies here today. Joining us is Dr. Yvette Allen Moore. She is the current chapter president of the Kappa Nu Omega chapter, and Mrs. Goldie Holloman, who is the vice president. So ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. So we'll just start off, just as always, just tell a little bit about the organization, when it was founded, and some of the principles of what the organization stands for.
Yeah, absolutely. So founded 1908, right? 08, at Howard University. And so this organization will be celebrating on the 15th of January. It'll be this Sunday, 115 years of service to all mankind. And so when you think about the principles we were built on, service, right, is our signature. You'll see us all about the community, assisting in so many different ways. We have so many signature programs. I'll let our programs chair talk about that. Our vice president also serves as our programs chair. So you think about sisterhood, you think about service, you think about, when you look at our purpose, you're looking at really uplifting college women in particular, but then also looking at studying and help alleviating problems concerning women, right? So when you think about healthcare for women, right? Different things that women endure and go through, we most likely have a hand in that, right? When you think about service and serving our different communities.
All right, so Goldie, would you like to add anything to that?
You know, just like Yvette mentioned, you know, services is our core. That's our value. So anytime we can try to figure out programs or events that would help our community, you know, the underserved, our sisterhood as its core, we're going to find a way to do that. So strengthen our sisterhood is going to be our foundation for the new administration, because we just changed corporate presidents, you know. So, you know, we're going to focus on empowering families, continuing to focus on, you know, building our economic wealth. We're also going to focus on enhancing our environment. So, you know, we're going to get out there and get our hands dirty. We could be pretty and get our hands dirty. And then, you know, we're going to also focus on social justice and social action, as well as just uplifting our community as a whole. So, yeah, we're going to be out there front and center, as we always have been.
All right, of course, I got to say that I'm looking on the Facebook comments, and it is literally a pink and green takeover in the comments. I'm seeing all these pink and green hearts being dropped in the comments. Definitely appreciate it. The sorors are definitely representing. And we'll get to some of those Facebook comments in just a moment. Kind of just want to, well, actually, I kind of want to stay on about the mission and thing. And of course, one thing that is important to all of our D9 organizations, even more so than ever in these times, is engaging the community, especially to participate in the political process with all that's going on, with people getting elected that make decisions that affect us. And sometimes those decisions don't always affect us in the most positive way. So just from the standpoint of Alpha Kappa Alpha, kind of explain why it's important for your sorority as well as D9 organizations to be civically involved. I think, a lot of it, organizations now kind of mention it being called social action. So let's talk about what social action means.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you think about social action, you're looking at a couple of different things, right? You're looking at how do you organize people, but also how do you educate, right? I think a lot of times when you think about social action, sometimes it is that education, right? When you think about even when you're electing your local officials, right? Sometimes it's the education, right? Because people will get really excited about, national elections. And when it comes to a lot of your local things, you'll ask someone a question and it's like, well, who is that, right? And so I think part of it is the education. What does this mean? What is there? How do you look up someone's platform? How do you recognize what that means for you? And also, I remember just me like having to look at ballots and I'm like, I had to really go like research and look stuff up, like, what does this mean? Because in some ways, the ways things are written, you really have to know what is it that you are voting for and what could be some unintended consequences for those things. So I definitely think education is going to be number one when you're thinking about social action, but also how do you organize people, right? Because you can have all the talks in the world about what's wrong and what's going on. But then after that, what are the ways that we are going to take action? And so when we say social justice, social advocacy, social action, it is, what do we do about it? Now that we have identified this problem, what do we do about it now? And how will we help? Even if it may seem like something small in this area that later has a big impact, how can we do our part to help alleviate that particular problem?
Gotta say that I'm definitely loving those backgrounds, y'all guys. That's like a pink Nike swoosh. But so y'all gonna be rocking the Chuck Taylors with the pink on them and whatnot.
You never know, right?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to some of these Facebook comments because as I mentioned earlier, the comment section is jumping and it's 99.9% AKAs on here. So Dr. Carmen Williams says, hello, everyone. Tiffany Mosley says, good morning. Latoya Yarbrough says, good morning. Ebony Allen says, good morning. Shaq Renee, I can't pronounce the last name, says, good morning. Sonia Sanders says, good morning. Letitia Fox Rochelle says, good morning, everyone. Tiffany Johnson says, good morning. Letitia says, that's my president and VP. Valerie Hilson says, good morning. Nora Hunt says, good morning, KLEK. Dr. Carmen says, heavy on the pretty. And Letitia says, hey, Lagansy Care, we appreciate you, Frat. Well, we definitely appreciate you ladies and definitely appreciate you all being supporters and sponsors of KLEK. And Donna Shelton says, yes, service is our signature. So let's kind of talk a little bit about on the local level. We have the Eta Upsilon chapter seated on the campus of Arkansas State University, which is celebrating 50 years this year. And we also have the Kappa Nu Omega chapter. So let's kind of talk a little bit about the history of those chapters and some things that both chapters are doing on the local level.
Absolutely. Well, I can start with Eta Upsilon. They were chartered. And I remember this day simply because it was October 13th. It was my birthday, right? And so 1973 for them. So yes, coming up on 50 years this fall in October. I'm gonna say it again. My birthday is October 13th. The birthday is October 13th.
she's sending him send presents and cash apps.
Right. No, but it was destiny, right? And so they have, yes, been on that campus for over, up to 50 years, right? We're celebrating 50 years this fall. And so you think about the different things, of course, the programs have changed because as they've gone through the different administrations, some of those things have changed, but again, the core remains the same. Sometimes the topic might be different, but the core has remained the same, right? I think about when I was in undergrad, I remember there was a lot of concentration on like vehicle safety and things of that nature. Families and strengthening the Black family has always been a topic of importance. That service part, serving your local community, making sure that you are understanding what are the concerns in your community and how do you advocate for that. Having a voice in those different political conversations has always been, a concentration. And so our undergraduates, they do so many things, right? When you think about all the many years they've held, for example, the highest GPA, right? Gotten so many awards for best programs on campus, creative programs on campus. They certainly keep that up and hold those ideals of high scholastic standards and service to their community, right?
Absolutely. And of course, Cody, you want to add anything to that?
So for the graduate level, for Kappa Nu Omega, we pride ourselves on providing services to schools. One of our new programs is the CHIP program, which is a Childhood Hunger Initiative Power Pack. So what we do is we provide snack bag for children in an after-school program each week, because we know that, you know, for a lot of school systems around the country, there are programs that are now defunct for providing free meals to students. And so we know that there's a lot that do go hungry. That is a major problem in this country. So we do focus on that and have been for several months now. We also have economic wealth workshops that we're doing for individuals. One of our cores that our corporate is working on is our own very own members only bank. So we have that to look forward to for us. As far as our community, you know, we're trying to build every aspect of. So whether it be an aesthetic, you know, a community garden, or just teaching people, you know, help yourselves out, grow your own food type of thing, also benefits you being healthy. We focus on heart health. So we do have a Pink Goes Red that we do every year. We'll be doing again this year. We give back any way we can. We do think outside the box. So, you know, you never know what we're going to be getting into that's going to be, you know, high impact, but also, you know, intentional in how we provide our service.
Absolutely. I do want to add an event for our undergraduate chapter that is coming up. It's Sunday, January 29th. It is their annual Soul Food Sunday. That's one of the ways they give back and feeding the campus of Arkansas State University, but also community, right? And so you can come out, get a free meal. There'll be a program, motivational speaker. And so that has been an annual program. Last year, because of COVID, they did have just the drive-by plates, but this year it's going to be back to its typical program. And so we invite folks to come out. That'll be 1 p.m. on January 29th.
And the location?
At the pavilion on the campus of Arkansas State University.
And are you providing the dish?
You know what? They tried to get me cook. I think I'm gonna do dessert though. I'm gonna do dessert.
I go to, what about you?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided on what I'm going to provide.
I got you.
But I do cook, so you never know.
Pretty girls can cook, huh?
Yes, we can.
Right.
All righty. And of course, it's always a great event. I've attended in the past and definitely look forward to that. I want to kind of back up just a little bit, still sticking on the 50-year anniversary of the Eta Upsilon chapter. Are there any events planned to commemorate the occasion?
Absolutely, right. We do have a committee of our undergrads, but also some of our alumni to just kind of have that voice on like what is it that we are doing. I do want to point out we have our annual step show, right? This has been going on for years for sponsored by the Eta Upsilon chapter. It happens on the Saturday of homecoming typically, right? And so all folks, it's been a number of different things, right? It's been a way for a lot of the Greeks to come back and kind of, you know, connect with each other, but also we know like the history of stepping and showcasing your talent and pride for your organization. So I do want to throw that out there because that has been an annual event that we certainly want to keep up, again, sponsored by the Eta Upsilon chapter. There will be a number of different things that I don't want to put out now until they're solidified, but there will be, I will say there will be a variety of events where the public can come and help us celebrate those 50 years and honor those charter members who, so, you know, they gave up their time, and it's because of them, right, that we are there and having the vision to say we needed something like this on this college campus for these young ladies to come together, right, and do service on the campus. When you think about just the mentorship that happens, I think about it as an undergrad, like leadership development that happens. It's so much growth that happens at that level. You know, just thankful for the people who started it, that we're still here. Yeah.
All righty. And let's get back to the Facebook comments for a moment. Tiffany Johnson says, October 13th, it was a great day, Dr. Allen. Dr. Carmen says, pound cake or bread pudding, trying to decide. I'm kind of partial on that bread pudding myself, but it's all good. Of course, Tiffany responded to that. Both are yummy. So we're getting ready to gear up into Black History Month. So are there any plans from either the Eta Upsilon or the Kappa Nu Omega chapter to host or partner for any Black History Month events?
Absolutely. We typically, there are some events that happen during Black History Month. We have in the past, for example, partnered with some like the Multicultural Center, for example, at Arkansas State. What we have done in the past is highlight some of the unsung Black women during that time, and so that we are aware, right? We hear about some of the same people all the time, and not that they shouldn't be honored, because they should, but sometimes there are individuals in Black history, particularly Black women, that we don't hear about, right? And so how can we honor those unsung heroes, as well as when you think about the people who are doing the work right in front of you, sometimes you don't think about the people in your community who are just great people, and highlighting them as well. And so I know last year we were able to highlight some unsung heroes, but also highlight our local chapter, because we have phenomenal women who are just doing great things in the community. So absolutely, during Black History Month, we look to highlight particularly Black women and what they have done in history.
Absolutely, and we're definitely looking forward to those events as we get ready to gear up into Black History Month this year. And I think it's more important than ever that we are aware of our history and who we are as a people, and to celebrate the many accomplishments and proud things that we have done. So I'm looking on your website, aka1908.com. I'm kind of looking at some programs and just kind of want to touch on a couple things. So I'm looking at one that says strengthen our sisterhood. So what does sisterhood mean to each one of you? And I'll kind of add a second part to that. What made you want to become a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha?
You want me to start?
Sure.
So when I think about sisterhood, right, I think about my biological sister, right, who actually happens to be my line sister, co-initiate, so we have obviously a closer relationship. And so when I think about sisterhood, I think about someone who always uplifts you, right? Through the good and the bad, right? Because we know, like, just in life in general, right? If you have siblings, you don't always, get along with them or agree with them, right? But at the end of the day, they have your best interest at heart. So any feedback they give you, any constructive criticism, is for your betterment. And at the end of the day, you're building and becoming better people together. I think about people who have very similar missions, right? And you're advancing together. So again, when I think about our sisterhood, I think about women who are on the same mission and who are uplifting each other together. And along the way, you're helping develop one another, because you want the best for them as an individual, but the best for the organization as a whole. And it's that support, right? When someone is down, just having a bad day, they're sick, something happened to their family, you're praying with them, you're going to eat with them, you are checking on them. It's those things. And I'm so glad we have that.
All right, and what does it mean to you, Goldie?
It's much of the same thing. It's the relationships. It's building professional bonds. It's almost akin to your ride or die. You're someone you can rely on, but that's also gonna tell you what you need to hear, whether you like it or not. Just to be raw and honest. It's a bond. And the reason that I joined, I also have a sister that is also my sorority sister and my biological sister, but we did it for the service. We did it. We're blessed with gifts from God that we want to be able to provide for other people to share with. We don't just keep it to ourselves. So anytime we can do that, it just further enhances our ability to provide service to all mankind. But it is professional, it's personal, it's us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And of course, the next thing I want to kind of touch on, because obviously both of you are very accomplished women in your fields, and AKA is filled with high accomplished women, including our current Vice President Kamala Harris, but even all the way down to the local level. And obviously, being Black women, we see the young Black girls and just girls in period that are looking up to you. Also, kind of talk about what mentorship means to you, setting an example for the young ladies and even future AKAs to follow in your footsteps.
I'll let you go first on that one. I can chime in.
So for that, it's who helped you when you were coming up. type of thing. We want to be able to do the same thing. Sometimes there will be, households where young girls don't get the same nurture, the same care, the same education. So let me show you how to properly do this. Let me show you how to be a young lady, how to carry yourself professionally. And also look within yourself to be more assertive, to be educated, to seek out knowledge. It's just showing, lead by example.
Yeah, and I agree with all of that. And I would just, add to that. I know that it's an investment, right? When you think about mentorship, the people who I think about who mentored me or sponsored me, they were invested in me. And I share with some of the young ladies that we mentor, I'm like, listen, I don't want to use the word hard on you, but I am helping you think through this because I care about you. And that's what I want for me, right? If I go through life and you have me looking crazy, like we're not really friends, right? And so I want that for me. And so I think about that for other individuals. Like I want you to be your best self. And so this is my investment in you. I think about what I didn't have as a younger person, right? When you're younger, sometimes you don't have the funds to do certain things. You may not be able to attend a conference. You may not have certain experiences. And then here comes this mentor or sponsor who's like, you know what? You can present with me. I will sponsor you for this conference or this leadership development thing. I will talk or walk you through this thing that you have to do that you've never done and you're scared, but just knowing that I'm there, it's all those things. And that mentorship is so important. And a lot of people, like when you look at all successful people, all people have a mentor. And I tell people, you should have a mentor at every point in your life. You are never too old for a mentor or a sponsor because there's always something to learn in life, right? At every point in life, there's someone that you can look into, getting advice from. And it goes by both ways, right? When you think about a mentor-mentee relationship, there are things that you can learn from one another in that respect. So definitely mentorship and sponsorship, it's an investment. Yeah.
All right. We're speaking with Dr. Yvette Allen Moore and Goldie Holloman of the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, getting ready for their Founders Day coming up January 15th. Let's go back to the Facebook comments and let's see, we got a bunch here. The Queen of Davis Lewis drops some pink and green hearts. Dr. Carmen Williams says, we help each other. Latoya Yarborough said, absolutely, it is a sisterhood. Shanquetta Cunningham says, I said my sorors. Latoya Yarborough says, it's us. Dr. Carmen says, we mentor, and Shanquetta says, and you both are shining examples, my soror sisters. Laquita Lewis says, love all of this. So like I said, definitely a pink and green takeover going up and down this feed. You definitely love to see it. So, all right, ladies, as we get ready to wind down, is there anything else that you just want to say about the sorority, the local chapters? And what'd you say, Shanquetta?
Is she in the studio?
She's in the building. She's lit. She's turned up. But any other final comment?
Well, you did mention, I think
Yeah,
one of the questions.
she ski wind in the hallway. I don't know if the mic picked it up or not.
I can't hear it. But okay. We know her, so I know she is. I believe.
All right, so go ahead. I was just saying anything else that you wanted to say that we may not have touched on.
You had asked a question about why we joined, and I can't remember if I touched on that part. I know that, for example, undergrad, right? You're looking at different things and you do your research. And I remember just seeing the women on campus carrying themselves in professional ways, things of that nature. And also when doing research and when you look at the time at which, right, the organization was founded, right? And when you think about perpetuity, right? And when you think about the things that some of our founders did to make sure that the organization was sustained, right? When you think about people wanted to change things and change the core of who we were, having the foresight to say, no, right, we are going to move forward in this way and incorporating things of that nature. And so when I think about the strength and the type of woman who moves forward and has that type of vision and foresight, and I'm like, why wouldn't you want to be a part of that? And so for those reasons, those are a lot of the reasons I wanted to move forward with the organization.
All righty, Goldie.
For our sorority and our chapter locally, I just want to ask, the community, if you would like to partner with us to help us execute some of these programs, we're welcome to it. Just contact us. Website, we do have a website.
What's the website?
What's the website?
Yes, for those listening, what's the website?
Oh, ours, the K and Omega, I believe.
Yes.
It is KNOmega1908.com.
All right, KNOmega1908.com. So check out that website.
Yes, there should be a link at the bottom that, does request, whether or not you want to partner with us or have ideas, just contact us. Is that
Absolutely.
link. So we
All
help
right.
each other.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the final bit of Facebook comments. I think we got a couple of. Shaquetta says, we have set the bar for all the others. Everyone is welcome. And Letitia Fox Rochelle says, we're not just pretty, we work, love our community. And again, we love each and every one of you as well. So any final comments, any shout outs, anything before we go?
I mean, I agree with all the comments, right? We have pride in how we look and we work hard, right? Doing it, right? It's nothing wrong with looking good while you do what you
While
do.
you're
right?
working.
While you are working. We'll see you all we'll be at the annual Martin Luther King Jr. Parade that's hosted by the NEA MLK committee. So we look forward to seeing you all there, of course, assisting in any way that we can with those MLK activities. And as Ms. Goley Holloman just said, you can head to our website, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at KNOmega1908. And so you can hear about all the great things that we are doing throughout the year. Join us and just help make sure that we are of course service to all mankind in our particular area, Jonesboro, Arkansas, and surrounding areas.
All right, and with that, we're going to do it for this edition of Community Conversations. Happy upcoming Founders Day to you, ladies. We've been speaking with members of the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and you guys have a great and blessed day. This is Kate, LEK, 102.5 FM. All right, thank you, ladies.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, no problem. And like I said, we'll see you at the event.
Yes, we will see you on Monday. We will be there.
All right, take care. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.